Sponsored by DJ One Love, WB Concepts, DB1 Entertainment, Road Freight LLC.
Hi, welcome to episode 7 of GrownManTalking. I am your host, Devin Banks. Today, we got some educational things to show you or to teach you about real estate. And I chose two excellent guests today who I consider game changers in the world of real estate. And that is one, Miss Rachel Day, and two, Miss Nicole Sykes. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having us.
First of all, I just got to say how amazing both of you look.
Thank you.
I don't know what to do. It just look like, it's just beautiful, like a little coloring book or something. I don't know. But y'all look good. Hair on point, makeup on point.
Thank you.
Can we share the credit scores real quick?
I am currently at 845 credit score.
Ooh,
Now that's transparency. Touch a neighbor and say 845.
I'm not that transparent,
Okay.
but it's up there.
Okay. All right, we in the 2 digits, but that's okay. God works on us. Now we know you're good, Rachel. That's why you're a game changer. So first thing I want to do is introduce the world to these two young ladies. I'm going to give you some background on both of them, and then we're going to have a little fun today. As you can see, they already been doing it. It's wine glasses everywhere. So that's what we do here. So first of all, Miss Rachel Day.
Yes.
Rachel and I have been knowing each other maybe 5 years, give or
It
take.
was longer.
It was longer than that?
Probably.
Okay.
It was like 10 years.
We're not going to talk about how we met because that's irrelevant. But I'll say maybe 5-6 years. Real good friend of mine, fun person, very professional. I know you do have a little background in the service industry as what we call a mixologist,
Yes.
if you will. That's probably why we got all this wine here. But yeah, she has a background in bartending, professional service. And then later she kind of pivoted over into the real estate world. But Rachel is a real estate professional, licensed both in Arkansas and Tennessee. Man, if that ain't a game changer, I don't know what it is. A 2-state woman. With almost a decade of experience, she's known for the market insight, sharp knowledge, and client-first approach. Her specialty is first-time buyers, investors, and commercial clients. Her style is mostly transparency, integrity, patience, and drive. All this to create a smooth and successful outcome for every client. So something that stuck out to me, first client approach. What does that mean? Does that mean offering somebody something they'll never forget, or, giving them experience for the first time that makes them want to shop with you or purchase with you? What does that mean?
I pretty much go into every situation focused on my clients and what their needs are. I listen very well, and I'm more approachable. So, I'm definitely very client focused, and I'm always looking out for the better interest of my clients.
Okay. Thank you. Next to you is the beautiful, radiant 845, Miss Nicole Sykes. That's your new name, 845.
Should be. Yes.
Yeah. Nicole is a licensed realtor, executive director of Planet Seed and Solutions. Also, she's connected to Pour Into Me Outreach and Support Group, and we'll talk about that a little bit. She's a Memphis native from North Memphis, from the North. Specifically, Ridgecrest. Wee. Don't play with it, baby. Don't play with it. Okay, limited sources and hidden inspirations, but tough times made structured thinking and critical thinking skills for Nicole. School didn't offer credit repair or financial management, and they still don't, I don't think. They may have marketing now, but I think that's it. As an adult, Nicole bought her first home and paid it off. Is that correct?
Yes.
Understanding consistency and discipline, she developed an 845 credit score and secured nearly $1 million in available credit. Let me say that again. She secured nearly $1 million in available credit. This made a pivot into real estate and owning properties. Her finance led to her to go to the stage and the camera and display her emotions and acting skills. Let's go back to this $1 million.
Okay, let's go.
We'll talk after the show. But wow, that's a lot of available credit. I don't know if that's one card or 16 credit cards. I don't know, but still, that's a phenomenal form of discipline and financial structure. So, Rachel, let me start with you, since you're the closest. What I would like for you to talk about or share with the guests, because today I kind of want you all to share your education. You know, I chose you all for a reason. You know, I want to make sure people are not sleeping on you. Right? I handpick guests specifically. You know, I pay attention to who's on my page. I pay attention to what you're doing. I pay attention to your functions. And it's always important to me why I chose a person. So you are the chosen for this particular episode. And yes, there's a lot of realtors out here, a lot of them. But I chose you for a specific reason, and I chose you for a specific reason. So, Rachel, one of your strengths, I think, is investing or investors or having relationships with investors. And a lot of times, you know, well, that's the only way we get homes is through loans, right? So with your expertise, can you talk a little bit about obtaining a loan to get a home? Well, this is whether this is a first-time person or somebody that's working on their third home. Like, how can you point them in the right direction? How can you benefit them? And what's the best route for them? And if you want to choose both scenarios, somebody who's never had a home or somebody's working on their fourth or fifth home.
I think it's important to know before you even apply for a home is to look at your finances and try to figure out exactly, you know, what your budget is. As far as the loan process, I use a bunch of different lenders, and depending on what my clients need, I just share the lender information with them and let them choose between which lender that they want to use. Some people, they just want to use their own bank. It's good to make sure that your credit is on point. Most banks or financial institutions are going to want to see a 600 to a 640 credit score. I mean, you can get a home for less than that, but I think a safe place to start is somewhere around a 620 or 640 so that you can qualify and take advantage of some of the programs that they might have. And so you just do the application, and the lender, they'll either approve you. If they deny you, then they'll come back and say, hey, you're denied, here's why, and this is what you need to do to put yourself in a position so that you can get approved for the loan.
Okay. So I consider you successful because I know you personally. And I borrowed money from you. No, I'm just kidding. No, I know you personally. Can you talk a little bit about your success ladder? Like, you don't necessarily have to start from being a mixologist to real estate, but when did you see yourself starting to grow and be like, hey, this is something for me? Like, you know, I can get out of this Ford Focus now and I can drive this.
Well, it was an Audi back then.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
So, no, I got into real estate back in 2016, and I just coasted. You know, I worked a job. I was in real estate, but I wasn't really taking it very seriously. I could say maybe between 2018, 2019, when I went to another brokerage. I was originally at Kaizen Realty, and then I went over there to Braden.
Mm-hmm.
And I learned a lot from that brokerage, and I learned one thing I did learn is discipline and consistency. So there I was calling, making more phone calls, setting more appointments, and staying consistent.
Mm.
Because the broker always wanted us in the office. So I come in and then I make a bunch of cold calls and then I would set more appointments. And then in 2019, I just transitioned from like a buyer's agent to a listing agent.
Mm.
And so I always kept a nice amount of listings, and just every year I just try to do that. I try to set as many appointments as possible. And that's just how I've been doing it.
So what's the difference between a buyer's listing and a
Buyer's agent and a listing agent.
okay,
So as a listing agent, you have the inventory, you're putting the houses on the market. As a buyer's agent, you're going to represent the buyer. But I mean, I like both.
Okay.
But that's when everything transitioned, was in like 2018, 2019. But it all started when I was very consistent, making appointments, having a bunch of conversations with people, and, just consistently doing that over and over and over again.
Yeah. The funny part is I remember helping you move to the Braden office. Remember that? Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, I know, right? I just happened to be the right place, right time. Nicole, let's talk a little bit about, let's say I wanted to purchase a home. What would I need to do to set myself up to purchase that home? Like if I'm looking, what do I need to look for?
You need to look for me.
Okay.
I am your first
Hey,
resource.
Can we?
You're going to look for me.
Oh,
Good. That's good.
After you look for me, the rest is history.
mm,
Basically, if you are looking to start the process of purchasing a home, you do want to meet with a realtor. For me, I love meeting my clients where they are. So, which means you may not have your credit together today. You may not have your finances. But I think the first step is the education. What does it look like? What is the process? And from there, you do your home buyer's consultation. But the main step is getting pre-approved. That's knowing what your budget is, because of course we all can go out. We can go window shopping, but are you realistically ready to pay whatever this monthly mortgage would be?
mm.
So just understanding what is a mortgage, what are taxes, what does this whole process involve, I think is the most important for me. Just getting the education, having a realtor, and the lending. So those three pieces are what connects everything together.
So I take you as a self-educated person, meaning if you're going to put your hands on something, you're going to learn as much as you can about it. And I haven't known you as long as I've known Rachel, but that's kind of what I pick up. Like if you're going to dive into something, you're going to go all in. You're going to be an expert at it by the time it's over with. So the benefits of home buying. Let's talk about that. Or would you? Let's say I'm a Taurus. I'm already stubborn. Okay. Let's say I'm going to rent. I don't care what you say. That's what I want to do. I don't have to cut no yard. I don't need no maintenance man. Well, I'm already have a maintenance man. I don't have to cut no yard. I want to rent. How can you convince me otherwise?
I would ask you, what is your reason for renting? For me, I'm not one of those realtors that push everybody to purchase a home, because it may not be your goal. Everybody doesn't want to purchase a home, but why wouldn't you?
Mm-hmm.
The same way that you can purchase a home, you can also sell it if you decided to pivot at some point. So with that being said, if you don't have all of your financials as far as your credit, your income, things like that, where they need to be, what if you got a phone call right now, today, and your landlord say, hey, we're selling that home? Are you able to pivot when you need to? So with that being said, I would always tell my clients to be able to purchase a home if you need to, even if you're not ready to. But purchasing a home is one of the most rewarding decisions that I feel anybody can make.
I would agree. Great answer. Thank you. Rachel, first-time buyers. Is there a benefit to being a first-time buyer? Are there any kind of discounts? Is there like some kind of, hey, I've never bought one before. Do I get 30% off? Like what? How do we treat?
Not those types of discounts, but yeah, there are incentives. Different financial institutions, they have these down payment assistance programs and grants for first-time home buyers. So yeah, there are plenty of benefits as a first-time home buyer. And in order to take advantage of some of these programs, you don't have to be a first-time home buyer.
Okay. So when we've talked about this before. What if I'm selling my home, right? We've had,
Trying to sell your
I
home
know,
since
we've
2019.
we have several conversations about this. So, let's say I'm selling my home, right? What are the best actions one would take to sell a home, like to make sure you get the maximum financial benefit of that house or of that transition? What would a person need to do?
One of the first things that I tell my sellers to do is be prepared to make the best first impression when listing your home. So going through, I even tell some of my sellers to go ahead and do a home inspection. So you already know what's wrong with your home. Go through and try to fix things within reason. Declutter, curb appeal. I'm a stickler about curb appeal. You know, it's the first thing that meets the eye.
Yeah.
And I also just say tone down some of the colors, make things more neutral, and just clean it up and get it prepared. Because when people walk through a home, you know, they're trying to picture themselves in this home. And if it's cluttered, if things are everywhere, they're not going to be able to picture themselves inside of this home.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if there's wine glasses everywhere, we know you own that home at some point. So Nicole, let's talk about the current market. What is it? Like, say I'm a client. I don't know what the current market is. I just saw a house and I want to buy it. Should you tell me it's not a good time?
You know what? I get asked that question all the time. I feel that every day is a perfect day to buy a home. Why? Because no one can determine what tomorrow or today is going to bring. No one but the market. So if you ask me, is it today a good day? I'm going to say yes. Going back about 10 years ago, who knew that the pandemic would happen? Who knew that interest rates, things like that would change? So if you have your financials together, if you have your credit together, you can always adjust as far as your monthly mortgage by refinancing the home when need be. So it's all about strategies.
I love your responses. Your perspective is always positive. Like, I cannot swing you to the left for nothing. Okay, I like that. Ladies and gentlemen, don't sleep on these women, I'm telling you. Talk about insurance or lowering your homeowner insurance. What things can a person do to their home to reduce their homeowner's insurance?
One of the most important factors in determining your home your mortgage insurance would be going back to credit. Your credit is one of the biggest factors, not just for purchasing a home, but also your homeowner's insurance. They're also going to look at the condition of the home. How old is the age of the roof? How does this home look like? Are there any current security systems in place? Are there any current pre-existing, what do you call it?
You're talking about the
claims?
Yeah.
any claims? Yeah.
They're going to look at your credit score, of course. They're going to look at any pre-existing claims. They're going to look at the condition of the home, whether it's the age of the roof. Has the current homeowner put any claims on their home as well? Those are some of the important things in determining the insurance rates and things like that. And also the location. Location determines a very important factor.
Okay. Good answer. So when you all say claims, you're talking about maybe like progressive.
So claims would be not just on the actual home. It could be with your auto. It could be so basically if you have insurance and you file a claim with the insurance carrier, if you file any claims, that goes against you because they're looking at your risk factors. Because after so many claims, you become high risk to those insurance carriers.
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that.
So not only you, but the current homeowner as well, because everything that's attached to the home follows the current homeowner as well as the new buyer.
Okay. Rachel, you are a 2-state realtor. Okay. I'm gonna put you on the spot a little bit.
Okay.
What do you think? What do you like better, Arkansas or Tennessee?
I like Tennessee.
You like Tennessee?
Yeah, much better. I'm more established out here. So yeah, I like it a lot better. But I like Arkansas real estate as well.
That's
Nothing
newly
bad to
acquired
say
though,
about
right?
it. Yeah, 3 years ago, I got licensed in Arkansas.
Okay. Yeah, I see you a lot out there with your little hammer and nail working on stuff. I see you. What are the benefits of working two states? Or do you feel like or is it just more work?
It is a lot more work when you spread yourself so thin sometimes when you're in these different markets. But the benefits of working in multiple states is if a client, especially in Memphis and cities that are really close to a border, it offers you the flexibility. If they want to go over the bridge or go to Mississippi, you can service them in those markets. So those are the benefits.
Okay. So you all got relatives in Arkansas. Holler at my girl, Rachel Day. Don't sleep on her. Ray Day is what we call her. Ray Day.
Real estate, Ray.
Real estate Ray. Okay. I say Ray Day. I'm sorry, that was me. This is a toss up. You both can answer or whoever grab it out the air. Explain debt to income ratio to people that don't know what that means when they're trying to buy a home. I know.
Debt to income ratio is one of the biggest factors of determining your affordability, because you have those clients that say, hey, I can afford XYZ, but that's not how it works. The lender is going to look at what you actually bring in and what actually goes out. And that what goes out is based off your credit report. So those would be any accounts that are on your current credit report. So those would be your non-service bills, like if you have a current mortgage, if you have a car loan, any credit card debts, things like that. So they take your income, they take your debt. They take your debt and divide that by your total monthly gross. And then you can then multiply that by 100, and then that will determine your debt to income ratio.
So let me ask you this. The closing costs, the more you put down, the smaller your house note becomes. Is that fair to say?
It's fair to say, yes.
Okay. Do you suggest people do that?
Well, for me, because I am strategic, it really depends on.
I don't mean to cut you off, but I asked that same reason as people do automobiles. Like they feel like, hey, if I put this much down, then this truck note will only be this much. Is that the same mentality with a home, or is that different?
It is. So depending on the loan, so it depends on what type of loan you get. So with some loans, if you put down 20%, then that takes away your private mortgage insurance, which means it also lowers your monthly mortgage payment. Okay. So it could definitely help you.
Okay.
And I like to piggyback off of that and say, if you're not putting the 20% down, then you might as well just stick to whatever the required down payment, the minimum down payment is. And to piggyback off of what she said, as far as like debt to income ratio, I see where a lot of people who are self-employed, they want to go out, they want to go buy a house, but then they pretty much wrote off everything, and it shows that they don't make that much money, and then they want to go to the bank and ask them for a loan. And so they're looking at the fact that you do taxes, so you understand, like, you've literally made no money, but you want to go buy a $500,000 house, you're not going to be able to do that. So.
Interesting, very interesting points. This one is for both of you. What is your proudest moment as a realtor that you're comfortable with sharing?
Oh, I had one that I can remember like yesterday. For me, my proudest moment was I actually have a tax client, and I had been doing his taxes for probably about 8 to 10 years. He called me one day and he said, hey, Nicole, do you know someone that has any homes available to rent? Or do you have any? Because I have investment properties, things like that. And I was like, well, no. And I said, well, what's going on? He said, well, I've been renting for about 12 years. He said, my landlord just called me and told me that they're selling my current home. I said, well, why would you rent when I can help you buy? At that moment, I could hear the frustration. I could hear the nervousness in his voice, because a lot of people just feel like they can never become a homeowner. I said, I just need you to trust me on this. And from that point, I met him where he was. He had been on his job for about 10 years. He did not have the credit score. He had great income. We did a buyer's consultation. From there, I saw that he needed assistance with his credit. We started his credit journey. He didn't have a lot as far as like late payments. Late payments can be one of the biggest factors in determining if you can be pre-approved for a home. We started his credit journey. We did a credit consultation. I told him everything that he needed to do. I said, this is what I need you to do. This is why I need you to do it. If you do these things, we can get you there. He did everything that I asked him to do. And within 60 days, we got him pre-approved. We went out and looked at his house. We looked at 2 homes, actually. The second home, fell in love with it. We put an offer in on it, and within 30 days, we were closed.
Well done. Well done. And what's the name of the company that you work for currently?
Well, my company is called Planet Seed Solutions, but I am with the Home Partners Realty as far as real estate.
Okay. Proudest moment?
I have so many proud moments. There was one client. She was a single mother. She would call me every year saying, I'm almost ready. I'm almost ready. But her credit was still kind of stagnant. And so she, on like year 4, I was like, are we going to keep doing this? I said, let me go ahead and help you. So I don't do credit repair, but I helped her with her credit. I looked at some things and I told her what to do. And her lease was about to be up and they would not renew her lease. And so we went ahead. I told her to apply. She got the loan. She thought she could buy more. And I just told her, I was like, hey, listen, we're not trying to find your dream home. We're just trying to find something that is good for you and your family. And if you just trust me on this, live in this house for about 3 to 4 years, you'll walk away with so much equity. So we found a house. She got down payment assistance. She brought maybe $250 to the table. And then 3 years later, she calls me to sell her house, and she walks away with close to 6 figures in equity because the time that she bought the house was like 2019, which was a perfect time. And then the time that she sold the house, it was 2023. And so she left me a review. She was crying because she didn't understand. She didn't trust the process. She didn't think that this could be her. And so she's bought another house, and she calls me. She's like, I'm about ready to sell this one too so we can get another one. So she's like,
It's ready to flip.
yeah, she's building equity. And, she had that mindset. She was always renting, didn't have great credit, didn't know anything about buying a house, and didn't really even want to buy, but it was just great. And so, yeah, every few years she's like, yeah, I'm gonna sell a house. I'm gonna sell this house. I'm gonna buy another house. And I'm like, okay, great.
Wow.
That makes me happy.
These ladies are making people's dreams come true. Don't sleep on these ladies, I'm telling you. Let's have a little fun. First, let's take a sip. That's how you have fun, right? You take a little sip first.
Of course.
Hit right there. So I got a couple of true and false. All right. We're gonna kind of test the knowledge of the real estate here. So I'm gonna make a statement, okay? And you tell me if it's true or false. All right. There are more single female homeowners than male homeowners.
True.
I think that's true. Yeah.
You say true?
True.
You say true?
Yeah, I read an article somewhere where it said something like, yeah, I think it's true.
Well, you are both absolutely correct. Tell me why, though. Why do you think there are more female homeowners than male homeowners?
For me, I think as a female, we're focused on what does my family need? What do my children need? And for some males, I think they feel like they have to wait for the perfect time, far as marriage, the stability of having, someone to spend forever with in a home. So that's my take on it.
Smart lady right there.
I would agree.
Smart lady.
I have no comment. I would agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's for guys. It's the commitment. Would this be the perfect home for my wife? You know.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah.
That's what most single guys. That's what they always say. I'm waiting on my wife. I'm waiting on my kids, and I'm like, don't you want that before you?
Yeah.
have that?
So, speaking of for men, I think trying to be a leader and trying to be a planner, I think you don't want to make a mistake. You want to do it right the first time. And you want to show, it's an ego thing too, right? You want to show that's why we don't ask for directions. That's why we just be lost. And because we want to show that we got it. We want to show that we didn't need training wheels when we trying to ride this bike. So I think it's more of a ego thing. I think we would rather be wrong trying to be right than just being wrong. You know what I mean? And I think that's where that comes from. But you're driving down the right street, meaning financial independence is the reason why there's more female homeowners.
But we also outnumber men too. But
Yeah, the ratio.
Yes.
But that doesn't necessarily mean finances will match that ratio.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a gender ratio, not a financial ratio. But financial independence is the reason why, because most women don't want to depend on a man, regardless of what the stereotype is. There's gold diggers out here, or what does he bring to the table? What can he do for me? But there's actually more women out here that want to get their own, and that's where that fact came from. Financial independence. Interesting, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Don't sleep on these women. Don't sleep on these women. All right, another true or false. The average person moves 12 times in their lifetime. True or false?
Is that true?
Is that what you're going
Oh,
with?
you're saying move or because like moving?
Yeah, move, relocate, move. Yeah, from another. Move. Whether it's renting or buying.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah.
I would like to say
I would say true.
that's a tough one.
That's a slow true. What
That's
you
a
got?
tough one.
Yeah.
Because my parents were in the military, and so we moved a lot.
Mm-hmm.
By the time I was born, they were out of the military, but we still moved a lot. So I don't know.
This is a
tough
lifetime, now,
one.
not a year. This is 12
Yeah,
times.
that's what I'm saying. A lifetime.
Yeah.
I think I probably.
So you're talking
moved about
maybe
12
70,
times.
75
I
years.
would say true.
True.
I would say true.
What you going with?
I'm leaning towards true.
Not considering being in the military,
I'm leaning towards true.
Don't sleep on these women. You're both right. It's true.
Okay.
All right. Here go true or false. Brass doorknobs. The value of a home is increased if you have brass doorknobs. And I'll explain why. If it's true, and if it's false, it's irrelevant. Is that true or false?
I
would say
think that's
false.
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 I think it's
False.
It's preference.
So actually, brass is a self-disinfectant. So brass is not something you necessarily have to clean like that. People do it for the polishing of it, but brass actually is self-cleaning. I mean, it kills bacteria. Well, that's why most people, if they read up on it, they would prefer brass doorknobs, or they'll switch their doorknobs out when they buy a home to brass, because of course everybody's grabbing it. There's different hands, and they know it's a self-cleaning type material.
So are we wrong?
Yes.
Oh. I'm sorry, I got lost.
That was my nice way of saying you were both wrong.
Well, you didn't say
It's okay. That's all right. It's only one.
But
It's
you
only
say brass adds value. I think it would probably make it more appealing.
Mhm.
But I wouldn't say add value. But I
Okay.
digress.
Okay. So if you think about the pandemic, if you think about something that's self-cleaning, it would at that point.
Okay.
Okay.
Look, I'm always open to learn.
All right. Another true or false. This is my last true or false, and then we'll go into some other stuff. Black or charcoal colored doors increase the value of a home. True or false?
False.
False.
You all were doing so well. You're both incorrect, but you're pretty though. But you're pretty. So actually, black or charcoal colored doors add about $6,000 to a home.
Okay.
Yeah, actually a little bit over $6,000. I don't know why.
You should be a real estate agent.
Shit.
I don't know why. I was trying to figure out why, but it does add about $6,000 to a home. Yeah,
Okay.
I did some. I did my homework.
No,
I'm going to do some research.
All right. Here's some fun facts. And if you kind of know the answer, it's okay. If you don't, it's still okay. You're still pretty. The Fair Housing Act, it banned the discrimination transactions. Do you know what year that was?
1968.
Don't sleep on these women.
Am I wrong?
You
or
are
am I
right.
I thought
You
so.
are right. I
thought
keep telling.
Like, I'm a history. I'm in the history, but you.
I really didn't think you was gonna get that right,
Yeah,
but you got
1968.
That's
yeah.
right. Man, game changer. Okay, this one's tougher. The term real estate started to get used in what year? It's a long
Early
time.
1900s.
Long time
Very
ago.
early 1900s.
Is that what you're going with?
I'm going with late 1800s to early 1900s.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it was definitely before the Depression, the Great Depression. But to give you a
It don't have to be exact year.
between 1890 and 1910, that's my range.
I would agree.
But you're pretty though.
What
When I
year
say that,
was
then you know you're wrong. 1660.
Oh wow. Okay.
1660, the term
okay.
real estate was starting to get used.
Okay.
This is some interesting stuff, huh?
Yeah, very.
Y'all learning from me now? Okay.
Definitely.
All right. Oh, this is interesting. A haunted house. So if you're selling a haunted house and you know it's haunted, this is a two-part. Number one, are you allowed to inform the buyer? And if you are, when was that law established that you have to inform the buyer that it's a haunted house?
I do not know the year that was established, but you do disclose to the buyer. And when you say haunted house, are you saying like?
I'm not going to define it.
Okay.
I went to church today. I'm not going to define that. No, but you're right. You do have to disclose it nowadays. You do have to let a buyer know that a house has been considered or defined haunted. How that's defined, I don't want to keep digging into this.
Okay.
Spirits transfer. I ain't want to go that far. But that was established in 1991.
Okay.
Yeah, that you have to disclose that to a buyer. These some nice nuggets, huh?
It is.
All right. There's a fast food chain right now that's very popular. And they actually got started not because of food. They got started because of real estate. And what they would do is they would rent the ownership of the land and start to franchise it out. And that's how they started to make their money. They really wasn't investing in the food or the product initially. They was making their money off of the real estate. But it's a very popular fast food chain. What is that?
I'm just gonna take a wild guess and say Chick-fil-A because I love Chick-fil-A or Starbucks.
Okay. What do you say?
I'm trying to think of something that's been around
McDonald's?
longer.
What do you say?
We're going with McDonald's
This
collectively.
has been around longer.
Okay. You're still pretty. And you're right.
I was thinking
the
about
top
something.
It was
three,
McDonald's.
I was like,
So McDonald's actually started out with real estate as their profitable business. And of course, they eventually boomed with their food and their advertising and their marketing. But they have one of the biggest franchises, branching off franchise. So it's kind of like Monopoly. What they would do, they would buy the land and then franchise the actual restaurant. And they would profit from that. So it really not even about how successful the restaurant was. The way they were doing it is actually pretty intelligent. Yeah.
They're probably using it as more like tax deductions
Yeah.
and things like that.
What is the most expensive residence in the world?
The most expensive residence.
In the world. Anytime today. Anytime today.
I'm thinking on the question.
I have no.
And I would like you to guess the value. The residence and the value. No luck? You giving up?
I don't want to give
I
up.
want to
but,
say
uh,
something, but I don't. Yeah.
Buckingham Palace.
Okay. Yeah.
Buckingham
We
Palace.
should have known that. Right.
1.55 billion dollars with a B.
Wow.
Billion dollars.
Buckingham Palace.
Buckingham Palace.
Yeah.
And they've created so much revenue just historically, but also through tourism as well. So yeah, $1.55 billion. Last one, and then I'm going to close. Okay. Who was the first black female realtor?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
You're still pretty. So it was in 1850. Her name is Bridget Mason.
Bridget Mason.
They called her Biddy. But although this was difficult to find because real estate has so many, it branches off into so many different avenues, it was hard to pinpoint her as a realtor. But she was more of a mogul, a real estate mogul, if you will, back in 1850. All right. So now it's time for me to give you your flowers. So first of all, I really want to put emphasis on people not sleeping on you because, like I said, I chose both of you for a reason. I think you are the masters at your game. Although you got your hands in different other endeavors, I feel like this is your niche and you can truly help people. And not only that, being a woman and being a black woman, I feel like you're breaking ground in this arena. I think you have the personality, you have the patience, you have the vernacular, and the education to help build the real estate field, in my opinion, in the areas that you work in. I'm happy to know you. It doesn't hurt that you're beautiful. It doesn't hurt at all. There is one thing I didn't touch on, and I kind of want to slide it in real quick. Safety. Are you ever concerned about safety when showing homes? Being alone, allowing somebody to walk in with you, sometimes, there's risk in it. Are you concerned about that?
Yeah, safety is the absolute most important thing for me. So I'm always concerned when I'm meeting new clients. I've seen where there have been real estate agents that have been unalived while doing their job. So I use a bunch of different tools to try to vet people. Obviously getting them to go get a pre-approval is one way, but I use Forewarn, which is an app. It will pretty much tell me the person, what they've done, if they have any background or anything like that. One of the other things that I do is I always keep track of who's all going to be there. I don't care if it's your kid, if it's your brother, your cousin, your husband. I need everyone's information so that I can make sure that I'm safe. And I explain that to my clients so they understand. We typically meet people that we don't know. These are people we've never met before. And so, to stay safe, I use Forewarn and I vet and I try to make everyone get a pre-approval.
Okay. Give me your best short answer.
piggyback off of what Rachel said as well. It's always a concern with me. I try to, if I can, have someone to always go with me, but that's always not the case. Using forewarn, just making sure that I'm not allowing anyone to block me in. And then I also want to add to that us as agents, we should also make sure that we're taking care of each other as well. That's just putting the lock boxes in, appropriate places where we can easily access them, making sure we don't have 10 million keys, being able to, easily get into the home, because I've gone showing homes before where there are like 10 keys and I'm sitting there trying to like figure which key is it. But safety is always important for me.
Okay. So in closing, this is the segment of the show where I like to do my own summary. And first of all, thank you for being here. And this is a segment I call Don't Make Me Preach. So this is my own little spiritual way of summarizing this episode and my guests. So let me start by saying we have to understand the role of a woman. And they are truly here to help us. They are our helper. And I know some of us have this old caveman thinking about they should be in the kitchen. They should be in the bedroom. They should be doing this. They should be handling this. Well, although those are helping things, but you have to understand that they are an assistant and not a subordinate. So if you go back to Adam and Eve was initially created to be a helper, so man wouldn't be alone. And I think she was not there to be a subordinate or to take orders or for him to just simply say, you should be doing this. She was there to assist. And one of the most critical things I think you all need to understand is that the reason I always say don't sleep on these two young ladies or any woman that's in a position of power is because when God first took the rib from Adam to create Eve, he was asleep. My name is Devin Banks. Thank you for watching Grown Man Talking.